News coming out of Germany today. Hansi Flick has been given a new contract till 2023. You win 18 out of 21 matches. I suppose it's a no-brainer. Craig and Jules with us. Jules, there was never really any doubt, was there?
No, you're right, Dan. There was no any doubt. He had some time to prove himself to Karl-Heinz Rummenigge and to earn that permanent deal, and he did that so well. You said 18 wins in 21. Even the game that they lost in the Bundesliga, they were dominating and should have won that game 9 times out of 10, and that one time they didn't. But we saw an improvement in the way they played, with more intensity, with more movement as well. We also saw players really revealing themselves, like Alphonso Davies, for example, players coming back into the team like Thomas Müller, and really the dressing room that was with a lot of unrest under Niko Kovac at the end of October, beginning of November, when Kovac was sacked and Flick came in as number one. And since then, clearly you could see that the happiness has been back in the dressing room as well. So on many levels, he really earned that contract.
Seems to make sense, Craig, yeah?
Well, absolutely. I mean, there was a lot of talk about Nagelsmann from Leipzig, and that was going to be the next move. But, you know, he's done so well, Hansi Flick, as Julien said. You know, domestically, they've been on a great run. You've got the best striker on the planet at the moment, Lewandowski, who's looking as happy as Larry. There's that fantastic performance in the Champions League, and there's been many away at Chelsea. So absolutely, he deserves. And I think Julien touched on it there, is the players look as if they're enjoying themselves, they're happy. So clearly, not only is he getting his tactics and his team selection generally right, but I think his man management seems to be. And I've always said that's hugely important, particularly with the big egos, the big stars. There's a lot of them at Bayern Munich, and it absolutely makes sense to have that continuity.
So then, Jules, that then now begs the question, how does this all affect the managerial merry-go-round in Europe? Because, so, that's Bayern done, yeah? Many were thinking maybe Thomas Tuchel could go there when PSG lets him go at the end of the season. So what does this mean? Let's focus this now on PSG. Will Tuchel be there next season, or could they look at someone like Mauricio Pochettino, for example?
I think on a PSG point of view, the jury is still out over the Thomas Tuchel next few years. He still has 1 year left on his contract after this one, whenever this one finishes. But you're right, there's a few people that have told us at ESPN that they were not really sure if Tuchel would be there next season. But that means even if he wanted to go Tuchel, now he could not go to Bayern Munich, whereas before that was an option for him. And a lot of people in Paris could see, okay, he will go to Bayern Munich to replace Flick. That means that we can then go for Allegri or Pochettino or whoever we want to. And then, as you said, the domino effect will start for all those managers, all those benches at big clubs, with also maybe Ten Hag at Ajax, potentially leaving Holland to go somewhere else, with Nagelsmann, like Craig just mentioned, at RB Leipzig, maybe going somewhere as well. But now with Flick staying, you would think, okay, Nagelsmann will surely stay now. Tuchel will probably stay as well. Ten Hag will probably stay at Ajax. And then suddenly it looks like, okay, maybe we'll have pretty much the same people on the same benches next season.
How conceivable is it then, Jules, or what will have to happen for Tuchel to leave at the end of the season?
I think that unless he wins the Champions League, which is still possible, I guess, if that competition goes to the end, then he might stay for the last year of his contract. Other than that, it looks like Leonardo, the sporting director in Paris, who, by the way, is not the man who brought Thomas Tuchel to the club. It was his predecessor, Antero Henrique, who did that. And for Tuchel, I think winning the Champions League is probably the only thing that can save him.
Allegri or Pochettino? Jules?
I think it would be Allegri.
Would that be the right decision, Craig? Is that who you would go for over the two at PSG?
I feel this is really weird, Dan, because we're discussing the possibility of a managerial merry-go-round when we don't know if we're going to finish the season. You know, Thomas Tuchel probably would win Ligue 1. He may win the Champions League with PSG. That's a job saver. But you know, we're talking about sacking managers potentially, and the season might not even come to a climax. I mean, that's pretty harsh. In terms of the merry-go-round as well, there is potential for that to happen. You know, we know Allegri's sitting waiting, as you've mentioned. We know Pochettino's sitting waiting. You know, Sarri was getting questioned at Juventus, but again, is the season going to finish? Then we've got the situation at Barcelona. That looks short-term with Kiko Setien. We don't know what's going to happen there. So there are a few potential openings that might arise, but I think anybody who gets sacked, if the seasons in Europe in particular are not able to come to a climax, can feel very harshly done by, because they can say, listen, if this season had continued, I would have delivered the Champions League for you, or I would have delivered this for you. And we just can't have that discussion at this moment in time.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.